Good evening guys, it is a Tuesday night again. We're back out, it's myself, Adventures of Paul. We decided after last week we hadn't quite finished here on the Ashridge estate. There is a supposedly, some say haunted, it's an ice house. An ice house is like a Victorian fridge, to be honest with you. Being back in the day before fridges were invented, they made these large pits. They used to have like a large pond area next to that. Ice would form, they'd scoop up the ice, chuck it down this 40-foot pit, which is got the feel of look of it to a very old sort of wine cellar, but they're actually usually not adjacent to the house. They're usually, like in this case, it's about 500-600 meters away from the property and buried in the woods, so it gives you that EBGBs. The reason why we do these sort of things, I suppose it's an adrenaline rush. What we done last week, actually bringing this to you guys, it was, for us it's eerie, and I hope it brings that forward to you. The idea is not to dispel any myths, debunk anything that's spooky or go against what everybody's beliefs are, but it's to take you on that adventure so you see and feel what we feel as we're going through it. I will be doing a spirit box both here and our next destination, which I should tell you that when I do that vlog. Again, we're doing 2 vlogs on the same night, and these will be available probably tomorrow, because by the time I get home I just want to go to bed. But anyway guys, let's go and do this. Time wise now it's about 9:15 at night. We should have just enough daylight to get there, and then when we come back this way it will be pitch black as we make our way through it. But it's certainly going to be interesting. We're hearing noises. Oh, here we go. You've still got people out on mountain bikes at night. With the naked eye it's very dark, but the camera has got such a good focus on it, it looks like daylight. But it really isn't, guys, it really isn't. This is how you would tell whether you're facing north or south, because the sunlight doesn't hit that from the north, so that's the side that the moss grows on. Luckily enough I wore wellies today because it is a bit boggy in places. These are tracks where your mountain bikers have come through. Look at the depth of that tree. What are we looking at there? Maybe 500 years old? It's deceptive what the light shows off. If I pan round, this looks like someone climbing a tree. But it's just, I don't know, some sort of growth. Come across an area now with a very spooky old barn. We've already had eyes following us in the woods. Had a tinge of yellow about them. I'm going to turn around and say it was probably a deer, possibly a fox like it was last week. But it does play on your irrational fears of what could be out there. Although we know, we're not stupid, we know there is unlikely to be anything in the UK. Property wise, the property that we're passing to our left, well, that beautiful light outside it, I think that was going for somewhere in the region of maybe £3 or £4 million. But I certainly would not be interested in buying something like that. Reason being, this is so out the way. If something went wrong, you're miles from anything on an old spooky back road. The area we are in, this is the Ashridge estate. It's just off to the north of Berkhamsted. We're in Hertfordshire. Some people call it Dacorum. It's a very pleasant place. Very sought after, wealthy people live in this area. I don't think for 1 minute we're going to come across the spirit of the woods. I know it roams in this area, and when I say the spirit of the woods, I'm not thinking about an apparition. Basically in this area it's got, if you know of Watford, the football club, they have what's called a hart. It's like a stag, a deer, and the spirit of the woods is, actually there's probably about 5 or 6 of them here, but they're great big male harts with huge antlers on them, and they stand probably about up to maybe 7 foot tall with the antlers. Beautiful to see, very unlikely to, because they obviously see us as predators with our eyes in the front of us, and so they'll see us and they'll dart, especially when we're on 2 feet. Whether I'll get the spirit of Peter the Wild Boy, because he used to roam this area back in the day. He was found living wild in the woods of a town called Hamley in Germany, and George I on a hunting party found him. Ironically, the area itself, Hamley, is known for the story of the Pied Piper, who run all the kids out of town after he initially got rid of the rats. They decided not to pay him, so he played his flute and danced the kids out of the town itself to never be seen again. Now, as I said, that is old folklore, but then trying to explain Peter the Wild Boy that comes from the same place and found in woods, believed to be brought up by wolves or bears, is incredible. Right, we're now within the wooded area and we're hunting for this supposed haunted ice house. I've been here during the day, so I've got a rough idea of where we're going. There's an old pond area which we don't want to go down into. It's a sunken bed, but the amount of rain we've had, and knowing it will be soft at the bottom anyway, it's probably like quicksand at the bottom of it, so we'll avoid that like the plague. What I've got to find is like one of these teepee type made things, you know, like the Forestry Commission, your park rangers, etc., they make up in the woods. Find that, and it sits on a ridge with the ice house below it, and I believe it's sort of over to my right. As you can see, the light is fading a bit more dramatically now. The noise is coming from the Ashridge estate. Directly in the background you see the light there in the distance. That is basically now a modern day college. As I said, if you hear that underfoot, it's almost like quicksand, so I want to get out of here sharpish. Don't go through that, it's quicksand, mate. If you guys can hear that music coming from the college, it shouldn't do, but it certainly adds a serious eeriness to all of this. So we're being tracked by probably deers. They're keeping a wide berth to the side of us. We keep hearing them scamper now and again. See what I mean about that music, guys? That is proper haunting, that is. And you've got a plane going overhead as well. So what, things are a damn sight easier to find during the daylight than they are in the darkness. I'd said about these teepee type effect things that the rangers have built into the woods. It just adds to the added spookiness. Okay, I found our ice house, which is just over there where the light is flashing, so we'll make our way through to it. So I said, I found this during the day, but the level of eerie and spookiness of finding this during the night with that whatever is going on in the distance, that noise you hear from the college, this here, the roof, this is your cellar inside bit, this is your ice house, and at night I dare say it comes to life with all sorts of bats, etc. That is a huge pit. I don't think I can see the bottom. I'm saying 40 foot down maybe, walled all the way to the bottom. As I said, they would have scooped up the ice and thrown it in. This is pretty spooky, guys, pretty spooky. I think Paul's coming in now. Okay guys, I'm going to do a spirit box now. So I've set up apparatus around there, made a porthole. Nothing's likely to come through, to be honest with you guys, but we shall say something anyway. Okay, spirits who are no longer with us, those of the underworld, perhaps Peter the Wild Boy, the monk that used to roam around these woods in this general area next to Ashridge before, when it was a monastery. Make yourselves feel present. Is there anyone present with myself and Paul here tonight? Has anyone passed over that frequents this area, this estate, through its many guises throughout the years, originally as a monastery, then as a manor house, now as a residence, a college area? Again guys, I really very rarely pick anything up from this. It's those of you at home, make of it what you will. You will pick things up that I won't, and that's a good thing. We don't all hear the same things, we don't all have the same beliefs, but it'd be ignorant to ignore them. The same as those who believe in religion. I'm not a religious man at all, but you can't have one without the other. And so, finally, if anybody is here, make themselves known to us and be present to us here in the ice house. Don't know about you, mate, I'm not getting anything. Oh. I think this could possibly be because of the activity that's going on in the college. Obviously you can hear all that noise, the music. Perhaps they need it more quieter, perhaps they don't, perhaps they've gone out. It's really weird, but I will leave that with you guys to have your own beliefs. We've got to make our way back through these dark and dingy woods and go to somewhere a bit more sinister. And the weird thing is, Paul's not here and the shadow has just walked past me. So what that's all about, and I'm standing still. Don't know whether you sense that. Certainly some form of movement. Well, I hope that was good for you guys. I don't know what else to say really. You try and make it entertaining as possible. We've now got to make our way back through that lot, through the woods, get nice and spooky and go to somewhere proper eerie. But that was your ice house. Certainly visit here during the day if you want to. It is a good find. They are quite unique throughout the country. That's probably the best example should I say, of one I've ever seen. But anyway guys, I'll catch up with you as we make our way through the woods. I said eyes were following us. We'll still see if they are on the way back. Light has truly gone now guys. I think we're on about maybe just after 10 o'clock at night. But without a torch you are not seeing a thing. Got to make our way back through this sort of lark to get back to the car, which is a good mile plus away, and then after that drive on to the next location. And all the time mindful of these eyes. We caught them last week briefly, that sporadically look at you. They could be absolutely anything, but they send shivers down your spine. I know, it's just the sound of that, the sound system they got. I think it's one of these large screens that they've got, but when you're walking through the woods and then all of a sudden you hear that, it is quite eerie. Anyway guys, I should put the camera away for a bit until we get back on the track. Making our way through this is lovely for you guys if you like your Blair Witch and that sort of thing. But for us, we've got to be safe now. So I'll catch you guys in a bit. As you rejoin us, been walking for maybe 20-25 minutes since we left. Paul fell over. There's the branches and that sticking out and the bogginess. So Paul ended up hitting the dirt. Usually it's me, so I copped out of this one all right. But again, I've not panned round for a bit. But at some times you pan round and you get the eyes and they're horrible. They really are horrible. You know they're nothing sinister. You know it's likely to be a badger, a fox, a deer, an owl or anything like that. Anything that gets a reflection off the back of its eyes. But it haunts you. It really does. Right, I'll catch you in a bit guys. Something's following us again. You just hear the tree line. The noises come from the trees. That noise is likely to be, I don't know. I really don't know. You have to forgive the train, not the train, the plane. Bog. But it's kind of sent shivers down your spine. Yeah, I know, we're just going through a bog. Whatever it is parallel with us over there in a tree line. Show yourself. Or better still don't. It's all gone quiet now, so we'll continue. Something is definitely intrigued by our presence, that's for sure. We're just going to stick to the path and make our way back to the car. I suppose it sees the light and follows the light. Probably not used to it, probably just inquisitive, getting close enough to look at us, but then we can't see it. These woods are so dense though, and the hair is up on the back of my neck at the moment. But we'll persevere. Okay guys, from this first spooky location from myself and Paul, wherever he is, there's Paul there. We're going to make our way out of here now. We've done what we wanted to do. We achieved hopefully what we wanted to achieve. These woods feel not too pleasant now. It's dark, the noises, everything that's following us from behind and at the side. And I said, I've got this Blair Witch appeal now with a torch in my eyes. But anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. We're about to head off to do something even more spookier, if ever there could be. I'll see you in the movies. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now.